tighten up. Hey Nashville, we're Tennessee tough, get tough. You can find us everywhere, all across the nation. Rise to the occasion. Tennessee, it's time to tighten up.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to What's Shaking Titans. I am your host, Gary Bailey, and then joining me live here today, we got two special guests. One as in Lee Hillis from the 615 podcast, and also we got Bryce Pratt from the Bryce and Haley Show. So, guys, just want to take the time to thank both of y'all for taking the time to joining me here tonight. Before we get started, let's talk about y'all. How y'all doing? How's things going?
Of course.
So, Bryce, how you been, buddy?
I've been good.
Awesome. And Lee, how's things going for you, man?
Staying busy.
Staying busy. All right, awesome. So, guys, with that being said, we got a lot to unpack here for y'all live on What's Shaking Titans. Do want to take the time to apologize for the late episode tonight. We had a lot of stuff going on behind closed doors, so it's just kind of made it difficult to get live for y'all. But we're here. We're going to get this episode unpacked. Without further ado, guys, let's jump into what's shaking around the NFL. What's up, guys? So welcome to What's Shaking Around the NFL. Without further ado, let's start breaking down our topics. So the Jets have announced that Aaron Rodgers has been activated from IR. With that being said, I'm going to bring in my fellow co-host from the 615 podcast, Lee Hillis, and get his opinion on this. Lee, what's your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers and his speedy comeback here?
Well, I'm going to say one, it's too fast.
Yeah, I agree.
When you have an Achilles injury like he did, it takes 6 months at the least to fully get back and get healthy from this.
Yeah, most definitely.
The rumor I was hearing about what he did to help with his recovery was listen to dolphin mating noises.
That's a new one, man. That's a new one. Maybe we should all just start listening to dolphins mating.
No, it's disturbing. I've listened to it, and it is disturbing.
Oh man, that's crazy. Well, Bryce, man, what's your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers and his comeback?
I think it was way too soon.
Yeah.
Way too soon.
Yeah, I have to agree with both of y'all. I think it was definitely way too soon. I mean, that's like tearing the ACL and coming back 2 months later. It's just, it makes no sense.
Well,
Go
there
ahead.
was one player who did it. I think it was Cam Akers. Did it in like 8 weeks.
8 weeks?
Sorry about that. It was like I watched the video of the highlights and I saw this and I was like, whoa, that's not good.
Yeah, I think what he's kind of referring to is the clips from his practice. And, the one thing that concerns me with Aaron Rodgers kind of returning this soon is, the lack of mobility that he's going to have, because there's no way that you come back from, an Achilles tear and you're fully mobile like you once was.
The dude can't even drop back.
Exactly. I mean, that's a great point right there. Is he really can't drop back, he's not able to support his weight,
He's like a statue.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill with no ankles.
I mean, well, as a Titans fan, I think we're kind of used to that now.
But I would say give me Aaron Rodgers with no ankles over Ryan Tannehill with bad ankles.
I agree 100%.
To be honest with you, I like Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback. I just don't like him for the fact that he's rushing his injuries.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like he's rushing it too quick, and I feel like 2 plays out there and he's going to hurt himself again.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Because if you rush yourself back, you're not 100%. You're just at risk to re-injure it.
Yep, 100. And
possibly end your career in the process.
Yeah, and we don't want to see that because I really think we're going to see something along the lines of Brett Favre, and he goes to Minnesota. That'd be a trip, bro.
He's got 2 years in New York.
Yep. So, guys, with that being said, let's move on to our next subject, or next topic here, and that's Panthers. Panthers fire head coach Frank Rice and name Chris Tabor as their interim head coach. So, with that being said, Lee, I'm going to ask you this real fast, brother. Does this make Mike Vrabel the official legend killer of the NFL?
The way it looks, yes. Because we've had 2 head coaches in the span of 3 years, 2021 with Urban Meyer, and now with Frank Reich, have both been fired after playing the Titans.
Yeah, so basically Mike...
Go back to 2019, the playoffs. We played New England, in New England, and Tom Brady's last play against in a Patriots uniform was a pick 6.
Yep.
Who? Logan Ryan, his former teammate.
Yep. Now let me ask you this. With all that being said, and of course, like we said, Mike Vrabel is the new Randy Orton of the NFL, the RKO legend killer himself.
RK Bro.
But this new interim head coach for the Panthers, Chris Tabor, what's your thoughts on him? And do you think that he's going to be able to, help maybe sustain something there? Or do you think that when the offseason gets here, they're going to be looking elsewhere?
I truly believe they'll be looking elsewhere. He's interim basically means temporary. He's only there for right now until they can find the next man up. The question is, where do they go for their next man up? Do they go look at an offensive coordinator? Maybe go steal Tim Kelly, please? Or do you go look somewhere else, like a position coach, like Wes Welker?
Yeah. I think you bring up some valid points there. Which Wes Welker is he used to be a former player, right?
He's a wide receivers coach too.
Or am I thinking of someone? He used to play in the NFL.
Yeah, he played for the Patriots.
Yeah, okay. Denver.
And he also won a Super Bowl with Peyton.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Wes Welker. Yep. Okay, I was just making sure I was thinking of the right guy. Oh man, long week at work, guys. Sorry.
Let me look at where he is at.
Okay, yeah, and while you do that, Bryce, what is your thoughts on Frank Reich getting fired and Chris Tabor as the interim head coach for the Panthers?
I haven't heard too much of him, but I don't know what the Panthers are gonna do in the off season.
Yeah. Well, they definitely feel like they got their quarterback of the future in Bryce Young. So you think that they're gonna definitely find a way to rebuild their O line, and definitely get them a head coach that will be able to elevate that team.
Bryce Young is one of the shortest quarterbacks I've seen in the NFL so far.
Like, put him next to Will Levis, and you have Derrick Henry and Mark Ingram.
Yeah, what was that quarterback's name from back in the day? Oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank on his name. He was like 5'10", played for the Patriots.
Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie. Yeah, he's another Doug Flutie.
But Wes Welker, he's down there with Mike McDaniels in Miami.
Ooh, that explains why Miami is putting up a bunch of points this year.
The Titans would go get him as their OC next year if they fire Tim Kelly.
I'd be down with that, but I think that we'd have to find a way to maybe include one of those dynamic receivers, either Tyreek Hill or what's
Waddle.
that? Yeah, or Waddle, and maybe bring them in to pair them up with D-Hop. Lord, I almost said Julio Jones. Yeah, pair them up with D-Hop and then, re-sign Henry.
Like Nico Hardman.
Yeah.
Go get Hardman.
Yeah.
Or make a trade for Devo.
Oh, man, I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
Because he was in San Francisco as the wide receiver coach for a little while.
Yeah. And then let me ask y'all this, kind of moving on here. I talked a lot about this quarterback during the preseason, and that's Patriots practice squad quarterback Malik Cunningham. So as of today, I want to say probably around 10:30, 11:30 this afternoon, the Patriots announced that they elevated Malik Cunningham to the active roster. Malik Cunningham, definitely showed room to improve and grow. But when you watch him play, he reminds me of another Cunningham that used to play for the Eagles, and that's Zach Cunningham. He has that quickness. Randall Cunningham. Yeah, I said that wrong. Yeah, Randall Cunningham.
Zach Cunningham plays for the Eagles now.
Yeah. Whoops.
Linebacker.
Whoop. But yeah, Randall Cunningham, man, is one of my all-time favorite quarterbacks. I think if you have Randall Cunningham in today's era, you have a Mike Vick on steroids.
Or a Michael Vick in general.
Yeah. So,
Michael Vick was one of my all-time favorite quarterbacks.
Yeah, definitely. He was very adverse in what he could do. The run game, the pass game. He was very balanced all over. I think if you're a mobile quarterback, that's what you want to kind of set your eyes on, or as a base level. Yeah,
that's who Malik Willis doesn't remind me of.
Yeah, Malik Willis has to, he has a lot of learning to do, and I think honestly, you put Malik Willis in the right system, like a Baltimore Ravens or. Somewhere where they develop mobile quarterbacks, I think you'd see a different side of Malik Willis. I just think for what we do here in Tennessee, being a pocket passer system, run the ball first type of system, it just doesn't fit Malik Willis's style,
It fits Will Levis though.
Yeah, and we'll kind of get into Will Levis here in a little bit, but with that being said, what is our expectations for Malik Cunningham and the Patriots? Do you think that there's a chance that he'll actually get elevated to play?
Here's one of the things that I want to bring up about Malik Cunningham. He's the kind of quarterback that can pass the ball down the field.
Yeah.
And is he one of Is he one of the newer quarterbacks? I forgot.
Yeah, he came in this year.
So, what team did he play for in college?
He was at Louisville.
Yep.
Oh, he was in
Up here in my territory.
it's remote.
I've actually watched him play, and he's filthy.
Filthy. I like that word. He's
In
filthy.
my mind, he's better than Mac Jones.
Oh yeah. And I mean, the thing is if you get him in there and you develop him, I mean, he already shown the ability in the preseason. You just go back and watch those 3 preseason games, and I know people say, well, that's the preseason games. But, you can kind of see those flashes of what he could bring to the NFL. Now he just has to put it together, consistently in, live NFL games against starters. And, I think with time, I think he'd be able to do it. He definitely has a good coach in Bill Belichick. I know a lot of Patriots. Do what?
I said probably not for long, though.
Yeah, probably not for long. That could be the Panthers' next head coach.
And then Vrabel could be in New England for all we know.
Yeah.
Very well be. Very well could be. So Bill Belichick, I've always hated him when he was on the Patriots.
Was it because of Bill Belichick or Tom Brady? That's the question you have to ask yourself.
Well,
Tom
you
Brady.
know where he's from, right?
Who, Belichick?
Yeah.
Well, when where he first started in the NFL, or where he's actually from?
Where he's from.
Where's he from?
He was born in Nashville.
Oh, yeah. You gotta show some respect to him.
He's a Tennessean.
Maybe we need another Tennessean as our head coach, and then a Tom Brady-esque player. No. I don't need another fossil, man. We had that experience. Who was it? Was it Dean Pease who stroked out during the game on us? Or
in Indianapolis?
Yeah, remember? No, please. We've had that experience here in Nashville. We don't want it again.
We actually won that game.
Yeah, we did. But that was definitely a crazy game, man.
What is the most craziest game you ever seen as a Titans fan, guys?
I'm going to go this year. Week 5 in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Not that one.
I was there.
Yeah.
I would love to have been in town this weekend.
No, because you're banned from Titans Colts games from now on.
I've only lost to the Texans twice in my whole life. Both over in Nashville.
So, for me, Bryce, the craziest game I've ever been to, I would have to say, or seen or watched, or however you want to say it. It would have to be the Marcus Mariota Kansas City playoff game where he throws a touchdown pass to himself.
Where he throws it tipped back to him and he dives.
Yeah, dives for the end zone. That was probably one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And I know it happened once before, but not in my generation. So that was the first and only time it's happened in this.
The 60s or 70s.
Yeah, and what's up with Marcus and Will Levis? Breaking these 60 or 70 year old, or tying these 60 or 70 year old records, man. That's crazy.
The 4+ touchdowns in a debut.
Yep.
There's only 3 guys that have done it. 2 of them play for the Titans.
All right.
Marcus and Will Levis.
Yeah, and Will Levis. So guys, with that being said, just want to wish Malik Cunningham the best of luck. I think it's really cool to kind of see him, be activated to the active roster. It'd be cool to see if he can take that starting role eventually. I know the Patriots are not. Yeah, and I know the Patriots aren't playing, to win anything because there's no way. But with that being said, let's go. Let's go back to the Jets for a minute. So veteran safety Adrian Amos and the Jets have mutually agreed to part ways.
Bring him to Tennessee, please. Bring him to Tennessee.
Yes.
We need help in our secondary.
Yes, that's exactly what I was about to say. And maybe you can kind of answer this, Lee, because I'm not so sure. But if they agree to part ways after the free agent deadline signing, would the Titans be able to pick him up, or does he have to go through waiver wires?
That is actually a great question. I think he would have to hit the waiver wire for probably 48 hours. And then after that 48 hours, if nobody claims him, he would be available to sign anywhere.
Yeah, so what's up, Bryce?
Hey, sorry about that, bud. Gary, so here's one of the things that I want to bring up about the Jets.
Okay.
I just don't think that Zach Wilson is the kind of quarterback they need. And definitely not. Zach Wilson is terrible.
Well, I mean,
Just and let him ride the bench.
there you go. Let him back up Will Levis. I wouldn't be opposed
Mayo
to
boy.
that. Two Mayo
Mayo
boys. Mayo Man might convert him to another Mayo Man. Then we'll have two Mayo Mans. Well, isn't
if I ever decided to make merch, that is what I'm putting on the shirt.
Mayo,
Put Will Levis's face on and put Mayo Man.
that would be the way.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Only till the Titans come after me for copyright.
Right. Well, it'd be the NFL and then the Titans through the NFL. You get a double whammy there. So, guys, with that being said, definitely want to take the time to shout out our affiliate sponsors. We got Fanatics here, guys. You can definitely go on over to Fanatics if you are shopping for the holiday season and you want some sports memorabilia, merchandise, or whatever it is. Fanatics has you covered. Go on over to Fanatics, check them out. You can also look up What's Shaking Titans on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, all the social media platforms. We have a link with a code that you can use to get, I believe it's 30% off site-wide this month. I'll have to double check on that. And then, guys, I want to give a huge shout-out to our newest affiliate sponsor, none other than Temu. So you can... Yep, Temu. If you are currently shopping for a bunch of people and you're tight on money, I recommend use Temu. If you're new to Temu, follow the link in the description. It's pulled up on the screen right there. https://temu.2m. All of that, guys. Just click on the link and you can get a $100 coupon bundle. And then, guys, if you are not new and you're wanting to find an extra discount on Temu, you can use code TAN83620 to get 30% off side-wide. That is TAN83620 to get 30% off site-wide. And then, with that being said, guys, let's go into our game recap.
And speaking of Temu, I live by Temu. I love Temu, and yeah.
Yeah, Temu is awesome. I've recently purchased a couple things from there. I'm also working on signing up to like test certain products and stuff with them and stuff. So that's gonna be pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, they're really awesome. They got a bunch of different, variety of stuff from microphones to podcast equipment, clothing. I mean, you name it, it's on there. So definitely go check out Temu. It's awesome. Some things will arrive faster than others. Some things might take a while, but when you get it, you definitely will enjoy your product. I haven't had any issues with anything that I've gotten from them.
It usually takes 10 to 11 days.
Yeah.
But if it's not there by that latest date, like I have stuff, and it says that you hear by tomorrow. But if it gets here after tomorrow, or if it's not here tomorrow, within 48 hours of that last date, Temu will give you a $5 credit.
Yep, they'll definitely give you a credit, and then you can also ask for a refund. After that, and they'll process your refund. So they're really good at working with you. You can definitely track all your packages. It's very easy to track all your packages. So definitely want to recommend Temu. I'm going to bring that up one more time. Use code TAN83620 to get 30% off site-wide. And then if you're new to Temu, follow the link in the description to get a $100 coupon bundle, which will give you discounts off of a bunch of different items. And then you can also still use the TAN83620 to get 30% off of all that. So it's a win-win situation, guys, especially with Christmas being only 24 days away or 23 days away now. Hey, get on there and start ordering before it's too late. You can definitely get all the goods for all your family and friends.
For less than $80.
Yeah, for less than $80. So, guys, with that being said, let's go into our game recap. So here we are, guys. Game recap. Tennessee Titans beat the Panthers 17-10 at Nissan Stadium, continuing their win streak at home at Nissan Stadium to now 4 wins of the year. Of course, it's the only 4 wins that the Titans have had. But, we got to see a lot of different things in this game. And one of the things I really want to kind of bring to the forefront of this is the defense and that defensive line. They played with fiery vengeance. Big Jeff to Nico Autry to Arden Key, Tierra Tart. I mean, they were on fire. Yeah. So my question is, was it because it was the Panthers, or was it because that bounce back game for the defense was overdue? And I'm going to ask you, Lee, this first. Lee, what is your thoughts on that?
I'm going to say this. I agree. Defense had a huge day, but you were playing one of the worst offenses in the league, in the Panthers. The Panthers, the reason they're 1-10.
The Panthers are 32nd in the league in offense. They're just terrible.
Their offensive line made our offensive line look like the best offensive line in the league.
No doubt about that.
They really did, guys. I mean, and that's something else I want to.
Our offensive line looked like it was top 5.
Yeah, and that's something else. I do want to talk about. So real quick, want to give the kudos to the defense here, and then let's get into talking about the Titans' offensive line. So Jalen Duncan, new left tackle for the Tennessee Titans, had a decent performance.
Jalen, he was better than Andre Dillon.
Yeah.
All these look like a turnstile. Dennis Staley 2.0.
Ooh, a piece of candy. But I did it. Guilty.
Guilty. It's
Gorge.
But I did it.
But yeah, Jalen Duncan. I mean, what a performance by him. I know it was against the Panthers. No sacks given up by him. I think we found a decent duo at left tackle, left guard. So I'm very interested to see that play out against the Colts.
I'm very interested to see what Jalen Dawkins does against the Colts this weekend, and I think that Jalen Dawkins has a high ceiling.
Yeah, and what were you
I
saying, Lee?
agree. I agree. The only question mark I really have is what about right tackle? What about everything on that right side of the offensive line? Brunskill, he's okay. But Dylan Radins looks like he's been on roller skates the last 2-3 weeks.
I mean, he would. Oh, excuse my language, but he fell on his ass a couple times.
Yeah, he definitely struggles on that right side. I know me and Lee talked about this a couple days ago. At least I think it was a couple days ago. My days have literally blended together,
Your
guys.
days are basically like right here's one day it's literally running right into the other.
Yeah, so,
It was within the last 2 or 3 days we talked about this. Dylan Radins, and I made this point. Go back and look at that San Francisco game. Yeah, he had help over there, but that help forced him to move Nick Bosa, to the right side to go against our right tackle of that game.
yeah, but we also gotta, and now that we're talking about this, we also gotta realize is that during that game, Bosa just came back off of a, injury as well. So, he wasn't fully playing at 100% either.
Both Bosas, Nick and Joey Bosa.
Yeah, he did. But, with that being said, I think this O-line still has a lot of holes and problems.
And of course, shout out to Derek.
Yeah.
9,000 rushing yards on his career.
Yeah, talk about it. Talk about it, Lee.
9,000.
And all of that before the age of 30.
Yeah. And not only that, I mean, but, Derrick Henry was going to be our next subject coming up. But, Derrick Henry was the only person to be able to score touchdowns in this game against the Panthers.
Which is sad.
It is sad. And
I'm going to say this, and I think I told you this. With them only having one win, the Titans should have easily, and I said this on the pod this week, the Titans should have easily put up 30 plus. 30 plus. But I was talking with the guys at the network. They think the Titans did not want to show too much.
Yeah, I mean, that could be that.
This game this weekend. Like, I feel like they got up 17 at the half. Basically, 17 at the half. And then just basically went extremely vanilla in the second half.
Okay. Let's jump into Will Levis' performance now.
Well, to kind of touch on what Lee was saying there, I do agree. It did seem kind of like they were playing a conservative game. But, and this will bring us into Will Levis. There was a couple passes in that second half there,
Yeah.
Where DeAndre Hopkins was screaming wide open to the end zone. And
he kept going underneath.
And Will Levis kept going underneath and had all day and then some to pass the ball. So this is where I'm going to get into kind of, talking about where I think Will Levis can improve. Now, before I do this, let me put this out there to everybody listening. I do not dislike this guy. Okay? Let me repeat that. He is the best option for the Tennessee Titans. But when we're doing these podcasts, me personally, I want to look at the things and areas where I can say, okay, well, this is where I think this person needs to improve. I'm giving you my opinions on it and what do I think can be better. So, let's talk about Will Levis and his performance. so far, I think we've seen a pretty solid performance from him. Since he started as the starting quarterback. Yeah, so shout out to Mayo Boy. Maybe he needs to take an extra shot of mayo before these games. Maybe that will help him see these open passes.
Young William.
Yeah. But guys, if we go and we listen to Mike Vrabel in the press conference, a lot of people were wondering, well, why is Mike Vrabel so down on him? Or not down on him, but harsh on him. Well, I think we all seen that against the Panthers, and we've seen why. It's because there's a lot of times where Malik Willis, not Malik Willis, but Will Levis, instead of taking, the easy pass, the passes that would get you the touchdowns, the passes that are wide open, he takes the harder passes, forcing it into double coverage and stuff like that. So, his reading of the field and his decision making is where I think needs improvement. Now I'm not saying he's out there making bad decisions or bad throws or he's a bad quarterback. I'm not saying that at all. So don't get angry and attack me in the comments or anything, guys. I'm just saying in general, as a human being, nobody is perfect, but we should all strive to be better each and every day. So if we go out here, tomorrow and, we do a performance tomorrow that is right here, then that needs to be our goal. All right, this is where we're going to start, next week. And this is where we want to finish, and we just want to continue to climb that ladder, instead of having that consistent, right here or below here. We want to continue to see that climbing. And so that's what I want to see from Will Levis is just, some better decision making. I've seen him improve on his footwork since, the first game against the Falcons. I want to give a huge shout out to Warren Moon as well as Buck Risen, who really, called him out on that. We've definitely seen a lot of improvement on his footwork. His footwork is pretty on spot as of the last two games. So, I mean, really the only critique I can give Will Levis at this point is just, if you have a wide receiver of the name of DeAndre Hopkins screaming down the sideline and you look at him and then you decide to look away and not target him, then please go sit on the sideline and take another Mayo shot. Mayo. But, Lee, what is your thoughts on Will Levis and his performance so far?
I want to say this about Will Levis. Up to this point, look at his touchdown to interception ratio.
A lot better than Tannehill's.
It's exactly the opposite of Ryan Tannehill. He has 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Ryan Tannehill, on the other hand, has 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. So to this point, and even including Sunday, yes, there's things he needs to work on. But up to this point, I've seen a lot of maturity out of him.
And that's a great word to use right there, Lee, is maturity.
You're starting to see him mature in the pocket. You're starting to see him become a whole lot more comfortable in the pocket.
And you're starting to see him develop more, too, as the game progresses. And not only that, you're looking at him progressing in the pocket easier to make things easier for him to get the ball out.
Yeah, well, now that you say that, Bryce, you do kind of bring something I do want to mention here. And that is Will Levis, in college was a very mobile quarterback. He was known for
to see him become
more of a pocket passer. And I think playing behind this O-line, we might need to see a little bit more mobility from him. And I know Vrabel is going to do everything in his power to talk him out of this. But we've already seen him.
That's how Jeff Fisher ruined Vince Young.
Yeah, and I mean,
by making him more of a pocket passer instead of a mobile quarterback.
And the only reason
You
why,
saw how that worked out.
yeah,
He was gone within 3 years of
exactly,
getting here.
exactly. And the only reason why I say let him use some more of his mobility is
Let
because
him do what he does.
yeah, well, it's because I mean we've already seen him 3 games in hit the injury list. And 4 games in, we seen him on the sideline getting his ankle, super heavily wrapped. He's
Ryan
been,
Tannehill 2.0.
yeah, he's been on the injury report every week since then. So my only concern is, if this O line is not holding up, you have to allow him to escape from all that pressure.
Move the pocket.
Move the pocket around. If not move the pocket around, give him the ball on a rollout. Be more decisive for him. Sometimes with young players, you have to protect them from themselves. And I kind of mentioned this, when we were going on that losing streak, and he first got hurt. I would say, man, I don't want to see him hurt himself to the point where we have another Marcus Mariota situation on our hands, or a Carson Wentz situation on our hands, where he slowly, just steadily, progressively gets worse instead of better because he got injured, and the offensive line couldn't do nothing. I mean, you look at the Colts. We're facing the Colts. What happened to one of the greatest quarterbacks that they've had in the past 6-7 years, and Andrew Luck? He quit on them because they refused to get him an O-line to protect him.
He retired at 29 years old.
Yeah, so I mean, this tells
He
you.
retired at the age I'm fixing to be.
Yeah, you're getting to be an old man there, Lee. By the way, Lee, I want to give you a early happy birthday shout out there. So I want to say happy birthday to you, man. I know it's coming up here soon. Just want to say happy birthday to you.
Basically tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
buddy.
Lee is going to be an old man tomorrow. So next time that you see him on the 615, Monday. So next time that you see him on the 615 podcast, we will dye his hair completely white.
What hair? And of course, on my end, I have to get a huge shout out to our sponsor, Homage.
Yeah, go right ahead, man.
Of course, you can go to my Twitter page. You can go to Title Blood Network on Twitter or X, whatever you call it. You can find the link there in the description. I think right now they're running a sale of 20% off site wide.
Yeah.
And of course, the shirt that you see me wearing, most comfortable shirt you will ever wear.
Talk about it.
And Gary can testify to this.
Yeah, because I got a hoodie too from them, and let me tell you, man, that is like the softest hoodie I've ever owned in my entire life, and it's amazing. I love that hoodie.
I haven't gotten anything yet, but I'm going to eventually.
Definitely. I mean, guys, we got you hooked up here between the What's Shaking Titans and the 615 podcast and the Upload Network. We got you covered here from Fanatics to Homage to Temu, guys. We got you covered here. Everywhere, anything, we got you covered. Whatever your want is, just look us up. We got you. But yeah, so talking about Will Levis. Talking about Will Levis before we end this segment and kind of go into our injury report.
Weak ankles, Levis.
Yeah, weak ankles, Levis. Tannehill 2.0.
No.
Wentz Jr.
No.
Kirk Cousins' cousin.
No.
All right, but all jokes aside, guys, I do want to say that Will Levis has definitely done a lot of good. We have to remember, at the end of the day, he's a rookie. He still has a long way to go.
He's going to have those growing pains.
Yes, and he's going to have those growing pains. He's gonna get better. He's going to have good games. He's going to have bad games. I think it was Paul Korhowski, Lord
PK.
PK, shared a post on his Twitter where it was talking about the top 5 quarterbacks, and
you sent it to me.
yeah, did you see that?
I'd seen that post somewhere else before him.
And I'm
But it's C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, Jalen Hurts is on there, Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
How are you going to have Will Levis at 2 and Mahomes further on down the list? Will Levis is a rookie.
Talk about it. You know what, Lee? I'm going to let you preach for a minute. Solo screen time. Boom.
But, hey, Mahomes, he's been here. He's done that. He's won Super Bowls. What has Will Levis done? Won you, 2 games? In my mind, Will Levis does not deserve being that top 5 right now. CJ Stroud does, because right now he's basically the favorite to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. And he might even be the dark horse to win MVP.
Dude, CJ Stroud is...
He's a freak.
He is a freak of nature, man. And, I would even go as far to say that if Anthony Richardson would have never gotten hurt, he would have probably been right there with him. Neck and neck.
I like CJ Stroud as a quarterback. I really do.
Yeah, but the name of his team makes me want to vomit everywhere.
Sorry about that.
H-Town?
H-Town.
Sorry about that. But I want to bring up something about Malik Will. Not Malik Willis, but
Will
Levis. The thing is that Will Levis needs to work on some things in the pocket. Like, he needs to look for the Andre Hopkins when the Andre Hopkins is deep.
Yeah,
Go back and look at that Atlanta game. Look at how well he did taking the top off with Dion.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and not only to D-Hop, but I mean he had that fourth one to CJ Moore, if I'm correct.
NWI.
Was it NWI? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with just the different looks that he's gotten over the last 3 games versus his first game out. He had nothing to lose that game. It was he went out there and was like, all right. He played free, and now that he's getting all these different looks, these different blitzes, throwing a few interceptions. He's had to step back and like, okay, it's probably gotten in his head, and I think we'll see an improvement on that definitely. Going into next year.
I kind of want to bring something up about that too. It's okay to make a mistake in the NFL. You're not gonna be perfect in the NFL. You're not gonna be able to do certain things in the NFL like you do in college. You're not gonna be able to do all those things. You're not going to be able to move in certain areas on the field in the NFL.
Yeah, and that's because the NFL is such a different type of football than college.
The NFL.
Go ahead, Lee.
And
NFL stands for not for long.
Not for long. Talk about it.
Sorry about that, Lee. But I want to throw something up here, but the thing is, Levis, why is he not looking for the underdroppings when he's deep down the field? Okay, here's one of the things that I see in Will Levis is that he just doesn't look. I mean, he throws it into tight coverage. He throws those tight window throws.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to look at who's mentoring him right now. A lot of those passes that he thrown into triple coverage or double coverage, those are Ryan Tannehill-esque passes, and the interception in the Steelers game right there at the end, he had two people wide open on both end zone, on both sides of the end zone, left and right, and he forced it into triple coverage.
I don't blame him for that interception though, because that was something that I wanted to see him, what his weaknesses were in the pocket.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you go back to that particular play, it wasn't the fact that it was a weakness in the pocket as it was just a bad read. And, that's what we were talking about earlier, with him missing those wide open D-hop passes,
And
it's just...
say this. I don't blame him for not looking downfield. Because, one, he don't have time to.
Exactly.
Because by the time he gets ready to hitch back into it and throw it, the pocket's already collapsed on him.
Yeah. And the only exception was last week, where he played the worst team in the NFL.
And had basically a clean pocket the whole game.
The whole game. And Titans fans are like, oh, it's a miracle. Oh, but I did it. Guilty.
Sometimes I'm just like, on social media, I'm just like, shut up, guys.
Yeah, but the thing about it is yeah, I don't blame him. I'm not saying it was his fault that we lost that game. No, it wasn't. What I am saying is, when you evaluate yourself or you're evaluating a certain position, you got to look and say, okay, what can this person do or have done to do better? And in that Steelers game, if I look at that particular play, what could Will Levis have done to prevent that interception in the triple coverage? Well, you go back 2 plays before that, and literally the same type of defense coverage, but it was literally, instead of being on the right middle of the field, it was on the left side of the middle of the field, and he throws it into triple coverage, but it bounces off the hands of the defender, and they had that triangle around him. So what I want to see from him is just when those type of plays happen, is say, okay, when I see this look, I got to find something else. I can't throw in the middle of the field. You go back to the interception though. Like I said, he had D-Hop on the left side of the field, who at the goalpost or at the pylon, was open, and then I think it was Chris Moore who came open on the right side at the pylon. So I would have loved to see him, loft it to the pylon. At worst, it's an incomplete pass, which would have stopped the clock, and I think we would have had like 8 or 3 seconds left on the clock, so we could have gotten one more play in, But like I said, you don't blame that on him, but you got to sit there and say, okay, well, this is the area that is his weakness. This is what he needs to improve on. And ultimately, at the end of the day, that's just one thing. It's decision making, So, we want to see his decision making progress. I'm not saying he's out here making bad decisions every throw, because he's not. He's making a lot of good decisions, but there's some decisions. Do what?
I like Will Levis as a quarterback, and I want to see performance from him. I don't want to see a downgrade on him or anything, but I want to see what he's able to do and what he's capable of, and I want to make sure that he's not. Titans, go ahead and just put me at head coach.
Yeah. But I think with Will Levis, the main thing is just protecting him. With him already going through these injuries this year, we need to get him into next year healthy. You know, the last thing we can afford is for a broken ankle, knock on wood, or an Achilles tear or an ACL tear, knock on wood. Because, you know, we ultimately want to see him behind a good O-line to where he has time, because referring back to what Lee said, you know, a lot of this, you know, in a lot of these past games, he hasn't had time to go through his progressions properly, because by the time he takes his first read and goes to his second read, he's getting hit. Or by the time he literally takes a 3-step drop back, he has 3 guys in his face, you know. So let's keep him healthy, let's protect him. But guys, we gotta hurry up and roll on. We're running out of time here. So with that being said, let's go on and get into our injury report.
Oh, baby, I'm black and blue.
Are we jumping into the preview game?
All right, guys. Sorry about that. Having some technical difficulties. If you give me a second, I'll get this.
Oh, baby, I'm black and blue.
All right, guys. So with that being said, we are into the Tennessee Titans official injury report for tomorrow game. I almost said next week's game, Lord. For tomorrow's game against the Colts at home at Nissan Stadium. Right now, the only player who is listed as questionable is none other than Traylon Burks. But according to a tweet from ESPN, Traylon Burks is expected to play against the Colts. So with that being said, Lee, what is your thoughts? Do you think Burks will be in this game? Do you think he's going to be much of a contributor, or do you think that, you know, they'll kind of just put him in 1 or 2 plays and that's it?
No, I would give him one more week just to get him fully healthy and fully develop from that concussion. Sorry about that, Lee. I took the question first.
But I'm going to say I think he will contribute, but I feel like he'll be on that quote-unquote pitch count basis.
Yeah.
Like he may get 10 plays here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I don't think we'll see a lot of Traylon Burks, especially with Kyle Phillips kind of stepping up. Huge shout out to Kyle Phillips, who's really kind of starting to come out of his shell.
Come on.
Yeah, you know.
I don't see much from Traylon Burks that much tomorrow. But here's the thing, Traylon Burks, okay, Gary, I'm gonna bring up that concussion, okay? So that concussion did something to where it did a lot of brain damage to him, and that was something, unfortunately, I did not want to see. I turned my head. I did not want to look at that injury. That was one of the biggest hits he took in his career.
I wouldn't say that. I think the hit against Philly was probably the hardest hit he's ever taken.
Yeah, I agree. Because
like Blake, to allude to what Bryce is saying, Traylon hasn't played a game in a month.
I think that Traylon Burks just needs to sit for one more week. I don't think he needs to play this week. I think he needs to get his mind right and get fully healthy and see where he's at next week.
Yeah. Well, I will say this though, guys. Titans, according to an NFL or ESPN insider, we are expected to see Traylon Burks throughout the game at some point. I don't think we'll see a bunch of him. I think we might see him 1 or 2, maybe at most 4 or 5 snaps. And if he's even targeted, and then to kind of touch on the concussions, we talked about it here on What's Shaking Titans. Once you sustain a concussion, your brain swells, and that level of concussion, because there's different levels of concussion. So you got your mild, your mid, your severe, and
So,
Traylon Burks' first
I'm
concussion was a severe concussion. Like Lee said,
It knocked him out.
yeah, it knocked him completely out. So now you have to take that severe concussion, and that is the baseline moving forward. So anytime that he bops his head, like we've seen, his head bounce off the ground and he got knocked out, that's why he got knocked out. It wasn't because it was a hard hit. It was because that first concussion is now the baseline. So every time that he gets concussed from this point on, that's the baseline. That's where it's going to start out. So that's kind of how concussions work,
And Gary, I kind of want to bring this up too. So that concussion for a couple weeks there, it kind of messed with his mental, with his mind a little bit, to where he wasn't thinking right.
Well, I think the only ones who really can vouch for that will be, his family and himself. But, when you do get a concussion, at some point, it will affect your mental capacity,
It'll affect your mental state.
Yeah. You look at Dale Earnhardt Jr. from NASCAR, he got concussed so many times behind that race car, and he talks about, how sometimes he couldn't even tell you his birthday or pronounce his last name, some of the stuff that you go through after the fact, after time has passed from those concussions, it slowly builds, and it's something that never completely goes away. He'll live with that for the rest of his life, and right now I think the best thing moving forward is just as Titans fans and supporters of this team is, let's send out our prayers to him, pray that, he's able to have a successful career somehow, some way, and that, he's able to, stay healthy. Because you look at the fact of the matter is that Traylon Burks hasn't hardly played any games since we drafted him due to some sort of injury, whether concussion.
He's only played in 16 games for the Titans, and that's only it. But here's the thing, Gary. You have to be able to. So you have to fully recommend it. Those kind of concussions because they're not something you want to see, and then they're definitely not something you want for your players, especially if I'm looking at Traylon Burks, I would just not play him tomorrow. I would just let him rest.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, I see where you're coming from on that, but then you also got to ask yourself, if you're going to protect Traylon Burks from himself, then why aren't you doing the same thing for Will Levis? I mean, at the end of the day, if you're trying to protect him for the long haul, you need to be protecting everybody for the long haul. And to Lee's point earlier on in the podcast, what does the NFL stand for? Not for long, So it's not what can you do for me, league. It's what can you do for me at a later point, league. It's what can you do for me now, league.
Or
So
what have you done for me?
yeah, what have you done for me lately? Type of league, and
Like they don't care about how many catches you had last game.
Yep.
They don't care how many touchdowns you've had to this point. It's what have you done for me?
Yeah, exactly. And we just have to kind of remember that, and I think that by them limiting the amounts of snaps that he's allowed to take during the Colts game, because I think it's a good thing to get him out there, maybe get 3 or 4 snaps. Yeah.
I was going to say, start getting him acclimated.
Acclimated.
That
Exactly.
game speed.
Yes. So I think it's good, but you don't want to put them in for the full game, and they're not going to do that, The Titans have been...
Maybe 3 plays a quarter.
Yeah.
No, maybe two, maybe two or one play. I would take one play I would do one play on Traylon Burks because I don't want to see him risk anything, and I don't want that to happen to him again.
Yeah, but you also can't play afraid either, And
Well, I've looked at videos of him this week at practice, and he looks fine.
yeah, exactly.
Like he looked like he did when the season started.
And let's just be honest about this. If it was too soon for Traylon Burks to return, then he would have never cleared protocol.
Wouldn't have him out there.
Yeah.
If it was too soon.
Yeah, Vrabel, we got to remember, Vrabel used to be, he's a former player, a former Super Bowl champion, He knows what that's like.
He has more tight ends than any
More
tight
more
end.
touchdowns than
He has the same amount of touchdowns as he does Super Bowl rings.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He's got 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
3 receiving touchdowns. And all 3 of them were in Super Bowls.
So
Nah, Mike Vrabel actually has 12 receiving touchdowns.
I wish.
Look that up.
Well,
Pull it up.
while it's being looked up, I'm going to go ahead and shift us on to our final subject here, and that's where we're going to preview the Colts versus the Titans at home at Nissan Stadium tomorrow at noon Central Time. I think it's 1 p.m. Eastern Time, if I'm saying that correctly. Yeah. So, guys, what does the Titans need to do to continue their winning streak at home against the Colts? I'll go with you first, Bryce.
Gary, one thing that I do want to bring up is you have to be able to stop Zach Moss.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
okay.
a good point.
Okay.
Was he right?
He's got 10 receiving touchdowns in his career.
10. Wow, Bryce was 2 off. Man, clap to Bryce. Good job, buddy.
In New England, he has 1, 2, that's 3 touchdowns, 6, 8 touchdowns in New England.
And count the other 2.
And his other 2 were in Kansas City at the back end of his career.
Yep. I bet you the Steelers hate that move now.
I was 2 off.
You were 2 off. But hey, I mean, that was good because I didn't even think he had that many.
Actually, let's look at it. No, he hit it around the head.
Did he?
2 from the playoffs.
Oh, okay. So that's, yeah. So you're right, Bryce. 12.
10 in the regular season, 2 in the playoffs.
There you go. So shout out to Bryce Pratt, man. Bryce killing it over there with the stats today. So yeah, Vrabel with the 12. Wow.
That's a stat I never thought I would see.
Right.
I thought he only had like 2, but no, he's got 10.
And we thought that Mike Vrabel wasn't an offensive minded person.
So talking Titans and Colts,
Yeah.
there's a stat I've got to bring up.
I was gonna go first, Lee. I'm sorry, buddy, but hold on. Let me finish my thing real quick. Um, so one thing you have to do is the defense. You have to start Zach Moss in the backfield,
Yep.
Yeah, I
and
agree 100%.
Bingo.
you can't. You cannot allow him to break away with 100 yards this time.
Whew. That was embarrassing to see in person.
Yeah, literally, I bet it was. And that is why Lee is banned from going to Colts and Titans games from now on. But yeah, so Bryce, I mean, you're 100% right. You know, we have to have a big day defensively. But Lee, what was your stats that you were going to bring up?
You have to. Okay, hold on. Sorry about that, Lee, but you have to be able to. You have to be able to get in the backfield and to stop the Zach Moss, and JT's out for the game.
Yeah, JT is out for the
He's
game.
out for the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah. So sorry, Colts. You lucked out. But I mean, but if you want to get technical with it, when the Colts beat us in Indy, you know, the game that Lee is banned from now on, you know, JT wasn't really.
Rossi are both banned
Yeah,
from it.
yeah, and Rossi. So Rossi, if you're watching this at a later time, you're banned from the Colts games from now on. Joking, but on a legit note, guys, you know.
So what?
JT wasn't a part of that game that much. I don't even think he took a snap.
He wasn't, really.
Yeah,
And
Yes,
shut
he
down
was.
touchdowns.
yeah, exactly. So I agree with you, Bryce. And Lee, what were you gonna say now?
Titans loss. He's gonna be there tomorrow.
Well, so if we lose, then we know who to blame from now on.
So the stat is revolving around DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay.
He only needs 3 yards. 3 yards to join the 12,000-yard receiving club.
And
Oh wow,
He
that's
only needs 2 catches to join the 900 reception club.
I saw that the other day on X.
awesome, man. Who?
So Sunday is set up to be a very special game for him. So Titans fans, keep an eye out for that.
Definitely.
If he gets 2 catches and 3+ yards, he will have over 12,000 yards receiving in his career and over 900 catches.
Man, that's amazing. And you know, I think D Hop and Levis, you know, I think that's going to be that's going to be key moving forward. Yeah, that's going to be key for the Titans moving forward. So if you ask me, you know, do we have DeAndre Hopkins next year? My answer is yes. And I know Lee might disagree with me here on this one, but I also think we will have Derrick Henry. I think I mean
I was gonna say that's actually where I'm going. I think we will have him back, maybe a year or 2.
I agree. That's exactly the exact timeline I had in my head.
Because back in May, almost 7 months ago to the date. So May 5th, we got news from a source of ours that says the Titans were planning to extend Derrick Henry.
Was that prior to Rancarthon or post Rancarthon?
Post ran?
Okay, cool.
That was May 5th this year. Like it was literally the week after the draft. So the source basically told one of our guys at the network, James, Titans for Life, and said that he had, that the source had gotten word, and he passed it along that the Titans were planning to extend Derrick Henry sometime during the 2023 season, not a definitive date. But I could see that happening.
Yeah,
Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't feel like Spears is ready to take on this workload yet.
I agree, and I also want to bring up the fact that
the thing is, if you don't have Derrick, who's going to be that change of pace back for you?
Exactly. Well,
not Jonathan Ward. You could go look at the market and find someone.
Julius Chestnut.
No.
Nope.
Go like
but he did it.
Like if a guy like Deontay Foreman hits the market, if a guy like Deontay Foreman hits the market, you've got to seriously out grabbing him.
Yeah.
Because he did a nice job when Derrick got injured.
Yeah, he did.
Hilliard.
That's the one guy I wish that we wouldn't have let get away. If I mean, could you imagine?
On the defensive side, one guy I wish Titans would have kept. He's having a heyday right now in South Beach. David Long.
Yeah. And I mean, another name I wish we would have kept, and I'm sure a billion other people would agree with me, is Jack Conklin.
Julio.
No, give me Jack Conklin on the O-line at right tackle, and I think that we'd have a whole different scenario this year.
The Browns have him for another 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. I mean, about the only...
If you're the Titans, do you go back and trade for him?
I think if you did that, then you'd have to consider trading Derrick. Because I think Derrick would be the only name that we...
Derrick to Cleveland for Jack Conklin.
Yeah. I mean, what a storyline that would be. Although I don't...
Trade Spears.
No. Give up Andre Dillard for
Boy, you better go get the Browns. You better go get the Browns front office just terribly drunk to propose that trade. I mean,
you heard the man. Go get him wasted and trade him Dillard.
Yeah, take him out for a night in Vegas and just get him trashed, and then be like, "Hey, by the way, here's the contract that you said you're going to sign."
Take him to Broadway and take him to every honky tonk on Broadway.
Hey, it worked on D-Hop.
It did. Also, take him to a Tim McGraw concert while you're at it.
Yeah. Hey, Tim, we need you to come back to Nashville for a minute.
But the Titans, how do the Titans keep this winning streak? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Feed the beast. Use that two-headed monster you have in the backfield, and take it. And y'all had mentioned this. Zach Moss. Zach Moss had a heyday against us up in Indianapolis.
Okay, don't bring that up. Don't bring that up because I don't want to hear it. You're to blame.
But the defensive front.
I'm gonna have to put y'all in timeout. I'm gonna have to put one of y'all in timeout, man. Y'all killing me over here.
I feel like the defensive line is poised to have a big day against the run.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you look at the way this Titans defense has been playing over the last 3 games, the run defense have steadily gotten better. Where the Colts game was the initial drop off, and then they had a bad game after that. But then you slowly seen them kind of correct it. So I agree. I think we see a whole different scenario from this defensive front and the run game. If we can limit them in the run game, we've seen that we can pass protect them well enough to keep it a close game. It was those big runs that killed us.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the yards what the Titans are giving up in the run. That the Titans are allowing in the run. They're allowing roughly 111 yards a game. That's 15th in the league.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're not allowed to bring that up.
Oh man, Yeah, so they're 15th, in the league. And, the first 4 games, they were what?
Top five.
Top 5, yeah.
I think they're like second.
So I definitely see them being able to kind of, I think because we had those the second period of 4 games where they were struggling and they were worst, and now that we're seeing them back to what they looked like at the beginning of the season, that's why they're sitting at 15th. Do I think they're a 15th level run defense? I think they're better. I agree. And I think we'll see that.
I think the Titans are not looking good on run offense, though, because they just fall apart there.
Yeah.
DeAndre Dillard fell on his ass a lot this year.
So, with that being said, let me ask you this, Bryce, and then Lee, you can answer too. What are some key matchups between the Colts and the Titans that you're looking at in this game?
Obviously, the Forrest Butler against what side does the Forrest Butler play on?
He's on the left side, so it would be Skoronsky.
The Forrest Butler versus the Forrest Butler versus Jalen Duncans.
Yeah, I mean, you could see that, especially if they move him around. I think the main one he'll probably be on, to Lee's point, would be Peter Skoronsky. So yeah, that is a good matchup because I mean you're gonna have to protect their best defensive player. You're gonna have to double team them. You're gonna have to pin them up. You're gonna have to give Will Levis time.
Yes. I'm gonna go.
And what?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna ask you this. So what is the Colts, what are the Colts in turnovers in the league? Are they first in the league in turnovers?
Let me, I have that stat right here. In interceptions, they're 9th in the league with 11. And the question is, how many turnovers do the Colts have on the season?
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah. So, where were you going with your matchups there?
So the one that I'm gonna be interested to watch is their right corner, which would be basically their number one corner, Jalen Jones, lined up on DeAndre Hopkins.
Ooh. That's a good one there, Lee.
And then you could also look at a guy like Kwity Paye versus lined up on probably Dylan Radins most likely.
Yeah.
And then the Titans defensive front versus Zach Moss are my top 3 matchups.
Yeah, I agree with both of y'all there. Those are some awesome matchups. I think my biggest matchup is going to be between Tim Kelly and the Colts defensive coordinator.
Which I think is Gus Bradley.
I think you're right. And I think that if you're Tim Kelly, you've been holding some things back this year. First and foremost, because you ain't had the offensive line to play your type of playbook that you got. Second of all, you're trying to protect certain players. But I think in this game you have to go deep in your bag of tricks. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Tim Kelly comes up with a game plan offensively. against their
Gary,
defense.
you have to. Okay, so you have to take the treats out of the bag and you have to throw them deep.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't throw it deep if you're not giving Will Levis time up front, and
Exactly.
that's been the problem all year long. Is when we've
Like,
had time to
yeah,
get.
he made some great plays against Atlanta when he didn't have time. But that was all arm strength. Like there were times like he couldn't step back up, but he just used his whole arm and threw like a 60-yard touchdown pass.
He actually did throw a 60-yard touchdown pass. What are you talking about?
No, that's what he said. He said he did.
But he used nothing but his arm. He didn't even step back into it.
Yeah, and that's if my first critique on him was his footwork, and it was mainly because he really didn't have a clean pocket to utilize good footwork.
And the last touchdown he threw to NWI, he threw off his back.
Yeah. To kind of wrap this up in a nutshell, when it comes to key matchups, I think we've all brought up some really good points, and to the whole Tim Kelly thing is you can't call deep plays if your offensive line ain't giving Will Levis time to go through his progressions, or the offensive line can't hold up long enough for these big plays to develop downfield. It's all in a timing thing, and you got to look at the two different defenses, between Atlanta and the Colts, because that's gonna be the key there is, how much better up front are the Colts than the Falcons? What's the time in the pocket that the Colts will give Will Levis versus what the Falcons gave Will Levis? And then we also have to think one more thing here is that, the Falcons, it was Will Levis's first game, so they weren't out there trying to, blitz him, murder him like we've seen the past few weeks, where now we know that Will Levis actually kind of struggles against the blitz, So we have to consider all those things when we're talking about this. And what's your last point there, Bryce? Excuse me.
Hey, let's go get this win and let's go.
That's right.
Bah.
That's right. Yeah, let's go get this dub. And then, with that being said, Lee, let me ask you this. Actually, let me do this real quick. I want to give a huge shout out to our affiliate sponsors and Temu. Guys, you can use code TAN 83620 to get 30% off site-wide. That's TAN 83620 to get 30% off site-wide. And you can also follow the link in the description below to get all of or if you're new to Temu, I'm sorry, I'm jocking this up right now, but you can use the link in the description below. It's also pulled up right there on the screen right now. You can use that code if you're new to Temu to get 100% or $100 coupon bundle. Guys, if you're shopping for holiday gifts, use none other than Temu. And then also want to give a huge shout out to Fanatics, guys. You can go over to Fanatics. They have all your sports merchandise and memorabilia there, from underwear to flags to actual legit memorabilia from games and stuff. You name it, they got it. And then Lee, if you want to give a quick shout out to Homage and what they got going on through the Titan Upload Network.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna post the link on my page. Go over and follow me on X or Twitter, whatever you call it, at Podcast 615. I'm gonna post the link to our link with Homage. Click the link. I think it's 15 or 20% off with Homage, which is actually where this shirt right here came from.
Yeah, and they definitely have a great quality, items there.
They also have starter jackets.
Yep.
Titans and Oilers. So if you're a Titans fan, go get you an Oilers one. because we are literally 2 games away
From another Oilers
from
throwback.
against Houston.
Man, I can't wait
Pour a
for
little
that.
salt in the wound.
Yep, I can't wait for that one, man. That's gonna be awesome. Well, Lee, with that being said, Bryce went ahead and hopped off here, guys. So just want to take the time to give him a huge shout out and thank him for joining What's Shaking Titans. I've been promising him for a while that I'd get him on here with us, and I figured what better time than now. But sorry, guys. But with that being said, let's move right along here. That was actually Massey calling me, so I will definitely get him on the phone and we'll do his bold prediction. But Lee, let me ask you this: which team has the edge in this game?
Well, if you look, I'm gonna go look at depth chart on this. There are definitely a few guys possibly out. These were updated to 27th. Which was within the last few days. Center Ryan Kelly is supposedly out, most likely. Jonathan Taylor's out. And Juju Brents, their left corner, is most likely out. So, at this rate, I feel like the Titans have the edge due to the Colts' injuries at this moment.
Yeah, I definitely I agree there. I think with the Titans having the winning streak at Nissan Stadium, they definitely do have.
And that plays in our favor.
Yeah, that definitely plays in our flavor. My goodness, why am I botching my words, man?
And the Colts Colts only have 2 wins at home.
Yeah,
But they're actually better on the road than they are at home.
so this could be a really interesting matchup here. And then, guys, want to take the time to welcome none other than your official co-host of What's Shaking Titans, Mr. Matthew Massey.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's
Hey,
up?
guys, man. I'm so glad to see y'all. I'm so sorry I missed this episode. I had a lot going on, but man,
Bro,
it's so good to be here right now. So awesome to see y'all. What's going on, guys?
What is up, Massey? Man. Dude, guys, like I said, we've had a lot going on both ends, on my end, on his end, work, all this stuff. It's been crazy chaotic, and,
end.
yeah, and Lee's end too. So, it's such an honor to be able to come on here and bring y'all an awesome, jam-packed episode. Massey, man, we missed you, bro. Just kind of real quickly, I'll kind of go over a few things
I
here.
missed y'all guys too, man. I'm so glad that I was able to be a part of this episode.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for letting me be a part of this, man. Like, I wish I could have been in the whole thing, but that's on me, man. I had a lot, like you were saying, Gary, I had a lot going on, so.
It's not just you, bro. I mean, we've all had stuff going on. But yeah, dude. All right, so let me ask you this, man. When we did our What's Shaking Around the NFL, we did a subject. One of the topics was over the Panthers firing head coach Frank Rice.
Right.
And I keep saying Rice. Reich. So I said, does this make Mike Vrabel the official Randy Orton RKO legend killer of the NFL?
That's such a great way to put that. And
Okay,
by the
bro.
way, look, I know we're going out on a limb here, but what a return for Randy Orton to the WWE. That
Let's
was
do
so
it.
awesome to see.
Yeah,
That
and
was so cool, man.
what about CM Punk returning?
CM Punk too, man. That's another one. That's
I don't
another
know.
one. I'm more
Did y'all
personally.
watch-
I'm more with Randy Orton.
Yeah.
That's just me
Yeah,
personally.
I agree.
But
I'm the older guy.
kudos to CM Punk, man. That guy's got going on. The best there was, the best there is, and the best there ever will be.
Not.
That's
CM Punk.
Yeah, so I actually did catch where they tried to fight. The two GMs were fighting over Randy Orton. If that's what you're referring to, Lee. Yeah, that was pretty.
Solo Sikoa.
Yeah, yep. Solo and Jimmy Uso.
Jimmy Uso.
Yeah.
Yeet.
Oos.
Uso.
Hey, Massey. I'm feeling Mighty Usi tonight.
That's it. That's it, Massey. That's who you remind me of. Oh my gosh! Why am I just now seeing this? You remind me of Daniel Bryan, bro. Ah!
I was gonna say Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn. Yeah, that's it. Ah! You feeling oozy tonight, bro?
Hell yeah, man. So cool.
Whew. So yeah, man, we've had a really interesting episode. We had Bryce on with us for a little bit. He just hopped off right before you hopped on. Yeah, we kind of covered a bunch of things from Traylon Burks and his return and being questionable. ESPN said that he is expected to play some in this game against the Colts. We covered recap of the Panthers game, and right now we're talking about the Colts versus Titans this week. So
I am banned from going to any Colts game.
Yeah, Lee is officially banned because the last time he went to a Colts game, our defense historically sucked monkey donkeys.
Yeah, hey Lee, you are not allowed to go. I confirm the ban. You are not allowed.
Okay. The only reason I would have went this weekend is because my birthday's on Monday.
Okay, all right.
But I'm at home right now. I'm at home right now.
Yeah. No, he still would. No, he would have had to watch it from outside the stadium.
Pedestrian bridge.
Yeah, get on pedestrian bridge and just like with binoculars and looking at the screen.
Or sit there listening to Mike Keith.
Hey, that's hey. If anybody is able to tune in, if you're not able to watch the game, go listen to it on 104.5 The Zone, man. Mike Keith is the truth.
Yes, he is, man.
Or go over to the Titan Upload Network because we're always doing watch parties for Titans games.
Yeah, and then once Massey and I get back on track here, I'm kind of struggling over here on my side of things. But once we get back on track and we get our YouTube TV back up and going, we'll also be back at it doing our watch parties. Well, we call it live game coverage over here on What's Shaking Titans.
For sure.
So we're definitely looking forward to the future. But like I said, man, it's just been chaotic over the last 3 weeks for us here.
Oh man,
couple months.
Last couple months been crazy.
Yeah, just one thing after another hitting us. But I mean, guys, we're still rolling. We're still rolling.
Hey, the word adversity is a word for a reason.
Talk about it.
We're facing it and we're getting through it, man. There's no stopping What's Shaking Titans. There is no stopping it.
That's right, man. Ironclad here. Ironclad. So,
around.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. What does the Titans need to do to continue their winning streak at home against the Colts?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah. Oh, come on, Big Poppy.
That's a very exciting question. All right.
Gosh, but I did it.
What Titans need to do is buckle up, strap up, and do
Guilty.
What they did against the Carolina Panthers times 2.
Bring their lunch
bill. They
bill.
need to do.
Yeah.
They need to.
Their lunch bill.
Hey Lee, I like your hat. I do. I like it.
That hat looks pretty.
Hat.
Guilty.
Guilty. No, I think the Titans need to put their heads together, pull them out of their asses, and butts or whatever you want to call it on YouTube channel. I think they need to get their stuff together.
Well, it's all right tonight. It's all right because Bryson took us from PG to PG-19 real quick, bro. Like we went from PG-13 to rated R really quick with Bryce. And I was just like,
within a matter of 20 minutes.
Wow. That sounds about right.
He goes, please excuse the language. Bleep.
He ain't got no filter. We all know that. Man, much love to Bryce, man. Shout out to you, dude. It's I'm super glad you were able to join What's Shaking Titans for the podcast tonight. As far as the Titans go, man, do what you did against the Panthers and the Bengals.
Up it.
Who's the other two teams we won?
We can't even remember.
Cincinnati.
Yep, the Bengals. All right, we got the Panthers, the Bengals,
the Falcons, and the Chargers.
All right,
but
we
when it comes to
no, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's not the Chargers. It's Lightning McQueen.
Yeah.
But as some people call the Bengals, they don't call them the Bengals. They call them the Bungles.
The Boston Bobcats, bro. It's the Boston Bobcats.
Oh shit, that's funny.
Gosh, I mean,
but no, as far as what the Titans need to do moving forward, we're gonna have to have some miracles. We're gonna have to
Music City Miracle Time.
Yeah, like winning out.
Didn't we try that recently? Not too long ago.
No. Music City Miracle has already happened. That cannot be repeated.
They tried, but Vrabel tried it though.
Yeah,
and they messed it up big time.
Go back to Jacksonville last season. Julius Chestnut was throwing off of his back. Threw a forward pass to it was trailing to Chestnut. Forward pass and got called back. They tried, but they failed.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Guys, I got to pull up my notes here because I done lost track of where we were.
Key matchups.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Lee.
Bro, what are you doing?
We're doing a podcast.
I'm talking to the baby.
Hi, baby. Baby, come back.
He snorted it.
Oh,
What are you doing?
We good?
Are you laughing?
sure.
Matthew ain't. He's gone. He gone.
Hey, I was gone before I got here. All right.
What are your key matchups between the Titans and the Colts?
No, you're not finna put them three matchups on me, bro.
Nah.
I'm just kidding. I got you though. All right. So my three matchups.
Not three matchups. What are your key matchups? Key.
Oh shit! I thought you said three.
I know what Massey's getting for Christmas. He's gonna hit some hair.
Oh, babe.
All right.
I don't know. Your wife might like that some.
Yeah. It's
So-
so, other hands.
All right. So, all right, I'm gonna break it down like this. All I want for Christmas is my silver.
Oh, dear baby Jesus, please hug us all.
Cut.
All right. What were we talking about?
Your key matchups.
All right. Woo! All right.
Come on, Dirty Diana.
Who are we playing? The Colts?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Is Andrew Luck?
Alright.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I know Andrew Luck retired like 14 seasons ago. All right. I know that. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Guys, please excuse this technical difficulties, but I do believe Massey might have just peed himself.
Are you gonna save me from this one?
I think he's genuinely pretty great.
You know what? Let's talk to Massey Jr. here. Massey Jr. got a take. I hear him. There you go. What's up, Massey Jr.? What's up, buddy? What's up? Who do you got? Yeah? Yeah? Talk about it. Who you got winning? Is Titans gonna win? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. And we got another little one joining us. Say hi.
Hi, I can't hear him.
Say tighten up.
I can't hear him.
That's because I got the headphones on, silly. Say tighten up.
Turn it up!
No.
Yeah. So Massey Jr., what's your key matchups here? Yeah? It's take the phone. Gotcha.
He said beer, and more.
All right, baby.
I'm sorry for all the fun joking stuff.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, so my three matchups are going to be the Titans offense versus the Carolina Panthers defense.
And the Colts
That's-
defense.
You mean the Colts defense?
God dang.
Massey, go to timeout. Go to your timeout. Put yourself in timeout.
There you go.
Okay.
Man, I'm bad boy.
Come out of timeout now, bro. So honestly though, what are you looking for? What do you think the Titans? What is a key matchup? Colts versus Titans. That's going to play a big part of this game.
So Richardson for the Colts is still playing, right?
No, he's out.
He's out. Yeah.
It's Minshew mania in Indianapolis.
Okay, so Minshew.
I don't think they're just gonna get the fuck.
Okay, so for me, it's going to be a quarterback battle. So Gardner Minshew versus Will Levis. That's what that's going to be for me.
Ooh.
Young William.
So, yeah.
Did you just say young
Mayo
William? Mayo man.
You can... Hey, man.
Y'all ever seen A Knight's Tale?
All right, so what's going to have to happen is Will Levis is going to have to outplay Gardner Minshew. Stop making me laugh, man.
Of course.
What? I did it.
Question for y'all. I got a question for both of you, if you don't mind answering it. Do you think Derrick Henry gets over 100 rushing yards in this next game?
Not with this O-line. Not with this O-line.
Okay, last year the Titans had a worse old line than this, and he rushed for over 1,500 yards last season.
So do you think that he gets
Yes.
over 100 yards against the Colts?
Yes, 100 plus. The most I'd probably give him is probably $140 with 3 touchdowns.
You know what? If he
Nope.
if
Like
he
that.
if he gets $140, I will come on here and eat a piece of humble pie, a legit piece of humble pie, because I got a pumpkin pie
He's a
sitting
pro.
over there on the
He's a
counter.
pro.
All right. Bark! All right, so what team, Lee answered this, what team do you think has the edge in this game?
Titans versus Colts.
Yes.
Statistically, did I say that? Statistically, and on paper, the Colts will have this game. But the Titans are known for winning games that are betted against us. So I'm going Titans.
All right.
Actually,
Question,
let
but
me look at the lines on this.
the Colts. To answer your question, the Colts. But I feel like the Titans are going to overcome that.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think the Colts come into this game with more of the edge because I just feel like they're having more of a up season. But then again, you look at, you know, like he said, Titans and their history, and you hope that they can kind of take that edge. But, you know, I think that, you know, Titans will have a huge chance to catch the dub. I think it's going to be a good game.
So the point spread for this game is, and the Colts are favored by 1 point.
1 point. Wow. That's crazy. All right, let me ask y'all this. This is the last question here. What is y'all's expectations for tomorrow's matchup?
Yeah.
You said
dub.
a dub?
And I'm gonna pull something out of Jameis Winston's playbook. Yeah, Will Levis, he gonna eat that W.
Yeah.
A W.
He gonna eat it.
A W.
A dub. All right, guys. So, well, I mean, with that being said, let's go ahead into our last two topics here, and that's our 3 keys and Matt's Matt's fly high shy bold prediction of the week. I got it right that time. All right, here we go. So.
Mega win.
All right, guys. So this is for the mega win here for Titans versus Colts. I think my 3 keys to victory this week is going to be we've got to protect Will Levis, give him time in the pocket, and then Will Levis has to be able to deliver that ball to an open DeAndre Hopkins going down the field instead of taking a check down or throwing it to the middle. You know, if we have somebody screaming on the sidelines wide open, let's target them. Let's try and put up points more consecutively. My second key is a key that should be very familiar with What's Shaking Titans fans. That is Henry. Let's utilize the king. Let's get him acclimated in this game. Stiff arms. I don't care if he rips off a 99-yard rushing touchdown. I will get on the floor in the fetal position and cry and thank God and be like, hallelujah. But, you know, anyway, that's for tomorrow's game. But, you know, let's get a lot of that Henry, guys. You know, because Henry's going to play a big part in what we do, not only for the remainder of this year, but I also believe next year as well. I think that, you know, Henry has a huge chance of getting re-signed. And then my third key to victory here is going to be run defense. Okay, we got to continue what we've been progressing on over the last 2 to 3 games, and we got to stop the run. Part of the reason why Lee is banned from the Colts and Titans games is because the last time he went there, we got ran all over like there was no tomorrow, and it started a yeah, Zach Moss, aka Lee Hillis.
JT Jr.
So my three keys once again, guys, is going to be protect Will Levis and attack the open receivers down the field. Henry, and the final key is going to be run defense. Let's bring in our other co-hosts here. Guys, what are your thoughts on those three keys?
Go ahead, Lee.
I agree with all of them. You have to be able to run Henry, but you also have to slam the door on their run game. Every time they get the chance to run the ball, they need to participate in the Tony Costanza challenge. They need to be stopped short.
You know who else is short?
Me! Nah, man, hey.
T-Rex arms.
They always make the most sense. You always do a great job of making your three keys make sense. I love. You sons of bugs. I'm trying to say something.
My daddy owned a lake.
We have officially gone from a sport podcast to a comedy session, guys.
Hello, mother trucker.
Hey, Hornswoggle, get back in the picture.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
I think he's about to fall out of his chair. Okay, yeah. So you were saying about my amazing three keys to victory.
Down with the
He put himself in timeout. That's what happened.
I can't breathe.
Bro, you went Catholic on us for a whole second.
Yeah. I went, I can breathe to, I can.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, let's push this along, man. We've been on for 2 hours now, so. Yeah, bro.
Damn. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry I missed out. I'll be there next time.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, if everything goes well, we'll try and do a quick game recap after the game tomorrow. I can't guarantee anything, but I can.
If so, I'm down.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That'd be dope. Does that sound good with you?
Yeah.
Massey?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So
We need that dub tomorrow, though.
we do.
As long as I'm not in the build, we should get it.
All right.
I won't be in there.
Take a few minutes going into this next segment.
Oh man. Yeah, once again, let's go over those three keys real quick. What were they? I done lost my train of thought again. Okay, yeah, here we go. They were, protect Will Levis, attack the deep pass, and whatever receiver is wide open going deep downfield, most likely is D-Hop. Definitely attack that. Second key, once again, is going to be Henry. And third and final key is going to be run defense. I think that's going to be key to pulling off this dub for the Titans and keeping their undefeated streak at Nissan Stadium this year alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I had to go Daniel Bryan. I had to.
Right? Oh, man. So, yeah, guys, that's my three keys there. We're waiting on Mr. Andy Fitzpatrick, Hornswoggle Wentz to get back in here. Oh, I see my precious. I'm
back.
Baby, I'm back.
You
All right, so here we go, guys. We're going into our final segment here. Let's hit it.
What's up, everybody? Thank you guys once again for welcoming this segment. It's super awesome to me. Eventually, I'm gonna get one of these right. So I'm also gonna go once again out on a limb and switch it up a little bit. I think last week I went Derrick Henry getting some touchdowns or something like that.
You were close though. I think you said 3 touchdowns. He got 2.
Yeah. So we were really close there. So this week I'm gonna go Will Levis with a rushing touchdown. Let's go. That's all I'm gonna go right there. Just Will Levis with a rushing touchdown. Let's see if we can get that. That's gonna be bold prediction.
That's a really good one there, brother. I agree with that one 100%.
And I'm gonna throw one out there also.
All right.
So this also ties in with the stats that I threw out earlier about DeAndre Hopkins. And Massey, I don't know if you've heard these or not. DeAndre Hopkins only needs 3 yards to reach 12,000 receiving yards in his career. He only needs 2 catches to join the 900 reception club in his career. So I'm going to say this. Will Levis, I'm gonna play off what Massey said. Not only will Levis have 1 rushing touchdown, he'll have 3 passing touchdowns.
Okay.
Okay.
2 of them to DeAndre.
Okay. I see you there.
And yes, DeAndre will join the 12,000 yard club and the 900 reception club.
Wow. That I love that you were able to add that into that. That's pretty fucking awesome. I mean, freaking. Sorry. That's pretty freaking awesome. Like
we left PG-13 a long time ago.
Yeah, bro. that got left about 20 minutes into a 2-hour podcast.
So sorry, but not sorry.
All right.
Yeah, really good. That's a really good addition to my bold prediction, man. I really think that's a good one.
Definitely.
And Derrick Henry will also have 140 yards rushing tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah, we don't know, bro, because I'm finna have to tap
Hey, don't forget, Lee has that glass orb that he looks through, man. So
he's got something.
Call him a switch.
All right, guys. So with that being said, we here at What's Shaking Titans always have 2 things we like to tell you when we get out of here. That's peace out and tighten up. Let's go. Let's get that dub. Real quick, guys, this is as a quick reminder, definitely go on over to Temu. Use code TAN83620 to get 30% off site-wide. And then if you're new to Temu, you can click the link in the description below. It's also pulled up right now on the screen, and you will receive a $100 coupon bundle. So definitely take the time to do that. And then, guys, I just want to take the time to thank both of y'all for joining us here on What's Shaking Titans. Guys, much love, and I'll catch y'all next time. Deuces.
Love y'all, bros.
Love you, bros. This episode of What's Shaking Titans is powered by Bailey's Barbecue. Bailey's Barbecue, smoking good barbecue.